Time to make shift happen. Get ready to shift your perspective on life, people, and the world we live in. And here to help you do that are your shift chicks, Fran Holinda and Lisa A.
Good morning, shifters. It's Fran Holinda.
And I'm Lisa A.
And it's time to make shift happen. Well,
Wow.
I think we gave our listeners about as fair warning as you can get.
Yes, we did.
That we are homemade,
Home
home for the holidays.
Homemade for the holidays, right?
This
Home
is
for
very-
the holidays.
This
We
is
are
very
here.
Scary.
It is. It's a little uncomfortable, but it's our first time, so we have cut us some slack.
Do you remember your first time?
I absolutely do.
Was
Do
it
you?
for the holidays?
No, it was a holiday.
It was a holiday, though.
It became a
I think I
holiday.
saw fireworks. Maybe it was the 4th of July.
Could be. Could be.
All right. Well, here we are. We are broadcasting. I'm doing engineering duties today.
Yes.
So this is a very interesting
Doing double
little
duty.
little setup here for us. So we'll do our best. But it is our Thanksgiving show, and so we have our Thanksgiving theme, and we do have with us a special guest for the holiday.
We do. Oh, of course. You have to
Tom
have
Turkey's
him.
with us
Tom has
today.
to be here.
So
But this is fun. The reason why we came home for the holidays is because everybody is going home for the holidays. So the wonderful people at the studio brought all of the equipment here, set it up for us, and now we have to work it ourselves. So bear with us if there's any. It's live, so we're giving it a shot.
live and in color. Actually, this is a very interesting set. This is the first time that we're sitting the way we're sitting.
Yeah, across.
Looking exactly across from each other, the way we would normally sit and talk instead of next
Yeah,
to each other. We
like
always kind of sit catty corner.
Catty corner, right?
I kind of like it. I could get used to this.
Yeah, so when I squirt the whipped cream, I could squirt directly
So
at
here's
you.
wait, before we get started though in some of our Thanksgiving
Mhm.
topics, I wanted to beseech our listeners a couple
Oh,
things. We have
okay.
a couple of polls out there. One of the things that we were thinking about doing
Yes.
was moving our time, because we're really more like, instead of like morning shift chicks, we're kind of
Yeah.
like more like night owls. Well, I am
a little
anyway. I'm-
edgier. And,
yeah, so we're thinking that maybe next year we'd like to go live in the evening. So we've asked our listeners to please take a poll. We're thinking like maybe should we do drive time, which is we say somewhere between 4 and
Somewhere
6.
between 4 and 6,
So it would
yeah.
probably be like a 5 to 6 show,
Right.
or more of the 7 to 9, but it would probably be 6 to 7.
Right.
So
or
kind of
7 to 8.
or
maybe,
7 to 8.
Depending.
Yeah, definitely before This Is Us, because we're going to stay on Tuesday. We kind of
Right.
like Tuesday.
Yes, we do.
So-
But we if you're on 7 o'clock, you're kind of people are done with dinner.
Yeah.
That's what we're thinking.
We're thinking.
And a lot of primetime shows aren't on yet. So
Yeah, that
nobody's
might be
settled
the time
down to
you
watch
kind of
TV.
catch up, maybe do some laundry, or
Yeah.
you're just doing stuff around the house that you want to put
Yeah.
your favorite shift chicks on. So please do us a favor. We did it on Facebook and we did it on Twitter.
Right.
Take
Take
the
the
poll. Give
poll.
us an idea.
Help us out.
Also, too, we need to get our listeners to give us some Facebook likes. We are like so close.
I know.
We gotta
right?
We gotta get moving here. I mean, I know Facebook is a thing of the past, and
Yeah,
quite
it's
frankly, I've had
unfortunately
enough of it
dying.
as well.
Yes.
But I think that it's a necessary evil for us.
Unfortunately,
So,
yes, we have to stay
If
on
you
it.
love us and you want to be thanks and giving,
Thanks and giving.
please give us
Giving
Please give
thanks.
us a like, and we'll
Give-
say thank you. See,
Yes.
thanks and giving,
Right.
or giving and then thanks.
And like us not only on Facebook, but Twitter and Instagram.
The Twitter, the Instagram. Instagram's a little
Instagram's a little
harder for
harder,
us because
yeah.
I share a lot of stuff, and but we're thinking
Yeah.
about taking a class. Could you imagine? We'll probably get thrown out for talking,
Oh, absolutely.
but that's what we do.
Well, we're talk
That's
show
our
hosts.
thing. We're talk show
Hello.
hosts. Exactly.
What do they want us to do?
All right,
Sit
so
and be quiet?
let's do. You know what? Let's do the first thing that we want to do is to give thanks, and we want to give thanks to a
Yes,
very, very lovely
absolutely.
woman who is a true friend of our show, and someone who actually, hello, Woo, the microphone moves. Who knew? Once again,
Yes, she's
the
a wonderful
macaroon
person.
shop in Avon by the
Avon
sea.
by the
Avon
sea.
by the sea. I
Yes.
just love that when people cut it short and just say
Mhm.
Avon or
Yeah.
Avon, which it's not.
No.
It just sounds so. Ugh. But Avon by the sea
Avon by the sea.
for macaroons.
Yes.
We have baby pumpkin pie.
Baby coconut
cookies.
cream pie.
We have turkey-shaped cookies. We have cupcakes.
Cupcakes.
We have
Chocolate
things
covered
that look like
Oreos.
boobies. What are those?
It's some kind of chocolate covered with peanut butter, and it's decadent.
Decadent.
It's very decadent.
Absolutely decadent.
Yeah.
And we are just very blessed that our friend Claire, and we like to call her A Claire.
Yes. And if
'Cause
you
she's
want to,
sweet as can be.
they do ship macaroons.
They ship anywhere you need them to be. They are open 7 days a week. It is the www.macaroonshop.com. Couldn't be
Right.
any easier. And their telephone number is area code 732 776-6363. But really, it's just easier to go online. It's actually, if you're in the area, stop in.
Really,
you
definitely
cannot,
stop in.
Lisa came literally laden
Right.
with Thanksgiving goodies. And oh my gosh, and two, these gigantic black and white cookies.
Yes.
They're like 2 cookies in the whole box.
They're awesome,
That's how
right?
big they are. It's like
Yeah,
it's like a personal pizza.
I forgot what was in the box.
It's
I'm
like
like,
a
what
personal
is that?
pan pizza. So
That was great.
Claire,
Well,
thank you.
She's wonderful.
She's
so is her
very
husband.
giving, and we are very thankful.
And so are all the girls that work there. You know, some of them have been there for 10 years. That's how much they love her.
Well, they love her. They
Good
love what they do.
employee.
Can you imagine, though? Think about some of the jobs that people have that who isn't happy when they go into a bakery?
Oh, my God, right?
Right? Like a candy shop makes people happy. Bakeries make people happy.
And then yesterday she's telling the girls before she was making, taste this one first. Taste this one first. I'm like, wow, what a
the
job.
only other thing that might make me happier would be either a brewery or a winery.
Of course.
One of those two things, or even like I
we
was
can-
watching
we can
something
arrange
about
that.
this Maker's Mark, that bourbon
Oh,
company,
yeah, that
and
one.
how like they taste bourbon all day long. Can you imagine?
Oh, my
I
God.
hope they drive their
How do you
people
get-
home.
Yeah. They must. They must have a shuttle. Okay, time
Oh,
to
don't
go.
worry about her. She just works at the
The
Maker's
5
Mark
o'clock
factory.
bell goes off and everybody goes home drunk.
Everybody-
Yeah, you
Well,
can't possibly drink that
if
all
you
day
drink
long.
all day long, right? then
Wow.
Where's that? What's happy hours like water and
Either,
tea?
or they're immune to it,
Yeah,
one or the
really,
other.
after a while. I don't know. I'd like to try that job.
Yeah.
But anyway, once again, thank you to Claire. Please, these are the kinds of businesses. You know, Black Friday, we're going to talk about that a
Yes.
little bit. Black Friday is in a couple of days, the end of this week. And then right after Black Friday is something I believe, I don't know if
I love
American
it.
Express started
Yes,
it,
they
but they
did.
definitely sponsor it. It's called
Mhm.
Small Business Saturday.
I love that.
And
I
it's
really do.
I do too. And it's a real opportunity to really give thanks by giving patronage to the merchants who make your town. And
Absolutely. And something like this, like a
perfect.
small town bakery.
Yeah.
I mean, they're far and few between that you can find one now. So if you can find one, and a good one like this one, go to the bakery.
Well, I mean, right on the card it says everything is made from scratch on the premises, which
It
means
is.
that so you've got real artisans
Right.
creating.
It's not shipped into these big box stores. You
No.
know.
And-
And I'm not downing them, but you know, there's nothing like a good bakery or a good local deli. You know, stop in and shop at those
People who
places.
know your name. I mean, there's really
Yes.
something to be. It's actually very true
Mhm.
that people know your name when you go there. And if you notice in my area, and this is we're in New Jersey at the shore area, but all over the country, I think you're seeing a lot of the brick and mortar stores are closing. Amazon is
shame.
coming into different places, and there's not. Amazon is my favorite thing in the entire world, so I'm not bashing them at all. I think we just have to rethink certain types of businesses. I think some things translate online very
Yes.
well, and other things don't.
No, like for instance, Amazon, real quickly, they're delivering fresh Christmas trees now. You don't have to even go out and buy a Christmas tree anymore. Where's the whole experience of going out with your family or your significant other or your friends and getting
Sap all over
Right.
your hands and
Yeah,
scratching
and-
your car with pine needles and fighting about
and getting a
how
hot
tall the
chocolate.
tree should be.
Right.
Well, I
don't want it coming in a box directly to
I
my
do.
house.
I love it. I started ordering Christmas trees online through Williams Sonoma a few years
Yes,
ago.
I remember
And
you
I
said
would
that.
put pictures up on the internet of a box that was almost pencil thin, long
amazing,
and thin.
right?
And it was almost like those sea monkeys when you were a kid
Oh my
that you
God,
dropped,
you dropped
in
in
water and
water.
expanded. Once you opened the box and let the tree have some air and breathe, it became these beautiful full trees that lasted longer than any tree I've ever had.
Wow, that's
It's
amazing.
they are amazing. They were expensive, but not everyone has a vehicle that will carry a tree. Not everyone can carry a tree. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why it's a good idea.
Yeah, but I well, see, I'm such a Christmas person, so to me that's one of the. Are you?
Well,
Tom,
the turkey's a
excuse
little
me.
upset with you because
We're talking Christmas
you're
already?
talking Christmas,
Okay,
and
sorry.
it's actually.
Sorry,
can we
Tom.
just let him have his holiday?
Oh, please! He's
All right.
always in the spotlight. This guy.
Just one day. He gets
I
one
know.
lousy
I know,
day
one
a
day.
year.
He doesn't
okay,
get a
Christmas
season.
gets like the whole month and like 12
Yeah.
more days. So I think we need to give Tom his due. So
All right.
please. Okay.
We shall.
So one of the other things that let's kind of talk a little bit about Thanksgiving and some of the traditions. Everyone has.
I'd love to.
Well, people have traditions and people don't. My family over the years I don't think we've had the same Thanksgiving twice in all the years that I've been married with the same exact people at the table either. I think it's changed so many times over the years. This year's going to be extremely quiet. And at first
Which can be a very good thing.
At first I was kind of sad about not having both of my kids here. This will be the first time in a long time that Jake's in California.
Right.
So that's difficult. Allie will be here, which I'm happy for, but she won't get to be with the person she wants to be with because, there's just a logistics issue.
They have to go to family.
And people have family to do. So that was always the trick, right? For people to
make everything
make everybody
together.
happy.
Right.
And I think that's so this year we decided that since it's just going to be the three of us, we are going to do something very non-traditional and basically whatever we want.
That's awesome. Why not? What's wrong with that? I mean,
I think we all
times
have
are
to,
changing. They
we
really
all
are.
have to be thankful for what we have.
Right.
And sometimes we don't always have everything that we want at that moment in time. That doesn't mean that you're not going to ever have it again.
Of course not.
I'm sure in a few years
Things will change.
we'll all be together, and hopefully with
Your
added
kids might having
Yeah,
kids,
who
and who
knows?
knows what's going to happen.
But in the meantime, I've decided to embrace the fact that after 30 years of marriage, I am not cooking the night before.
Exactly.
I am not shopping like a lunatic. I am not waking up early in the morning to do anything other than get in front of the television set, the parade.
Right.
And then you know what else I love to watch is the Westminster Dog Show. One of my faves.
Yeah, we knew you would like to watch that show.
And who else likes to watch that? Are my three maniacs.
Do they watch it?
They watch it and bark at the TV. It's very enjoyable, as
Oh,
you can only imagine.
I think I'll skip that
Yeah,
one.
It's deafening, actually.
It's definitely.
Yeah. I figure if I let Trey bark it out, he'll be hoarse enough and we'll stop.
There you go.
I mean,
Loses his voice for
seriously,
the day.
it's going to be one of those days. And as far as what we're eating, that's still the $64,000 question.
Really? Do you realize it's Tuesday?
I do.
Okay.
I do realize it's Tuesday.
But you know what? You're making it spontaneous. So like whatever happens, happens.
But that's the thing. We've never been able to do that.
Yes, that's
The
kind of
other-
cool. I
The
mean,
other- so I guess my personal lesson is to really embrace the circumstances as they are. I also have a friend, and she's a relatively new friend in my life, and we connected after she lost the love of her life,
Right.
of someone who I knew.
Mm-hmm.
And when I think about it, I think to myself, I'm sad that my family is, are all four of us, big deal, right? But are not all together. But at the other side is they are alive and they are well.
That's right. And they're happy.
And
Whatever they're
happy.
doing.
And
they're
I
happy.
have the love of my life. I
Right.
get to see him on Thanksgiving and every day. So I really need to be thankful for that and not be so concerned with what's not
Exactly.
happening. And I think if everybody did that, it would be a better
Like
day.
I always say, all you have is all you need.
I love that saying.
Yep. And it's so true because, everything, life, whatever it is that we do is what we make of it,
Mhm.
And, some people have to split their time. Some people go to the mother's house in the morning and the mother-in-law's house in the afternoon. Some people have to be split apart. But you know what? It's a day to be thankful and share gratitude with everybody for how, grateful we are for everything. So if you have to make a few changes on Thanksgiving Day, so what? It's one day out of the year.
It's true.
you know?
It's true. It's one day out of the year. And I remember feeling, over the years as things have changed, saying, I get to see this person, 365 4 days a year. If I don't see them the one day, they're entitled to go and celebrate
Exactly.
too. So take it easy on the people who can't be with you.
Yeah, don't get too
cause,
mad.
Yeah, don't cause the drama. Because the drama seems to last
'Cause,
longer
yeah,
than the
it-
one
it
day.
does-
It's
it
a
does
lousy,
get
it's
a lot
a
of
lousy
families in
day
trouble.
for
It really
everybody
does, yeah.
if it's drama.
And
But
it's pressure. They
It
feel
is a
the
lot of-
pressure.
no,
and
it
they
is a
don't know
lot
what
of
to
pressure.
do. Should I stay home? Should I go here? This one's going to get mad at me. No, you have to just go do what you need to do.
See, now I feel like you're fortunate because you have a large family, but you see them on a regular basis. So if you
Yes.
don't catch
Very
everybody
regularly.
maybe a little too regularly, if you don't catch everybody that day, I don't want to say the world doesn't come to an
No.
end. I mean, obviously you miss them, but you'll see them within a
Absolutely.
short period of time.
Absolutely. And even though I have a large family, things have significantly changed also. Because don't forget, once coming from a large Italian family, back in the day, my grandparents were alive, my nana and grandpa. We'd go to their house, everybody would pile over there. There was chestnuts, literally roasting in the oven,
And other kinds of nuts roasting
right.
too.
And by the our traditional Thanksgiving being Italian, we had the antipasto first, then some kind of lasagna or macaroni dish. By the time the turkey came out, everybody was like,
Turkey
"What's
was like
that?"
the dessert.
Yeah, we didn't have that until like later in the night.
Yeah, that's fun.
So,
That's
but
fun.
it was fun with everybody there, and now it's different. It's a little different today. You feel the different vibe.
And people don't even eat the same way. I mean,
No.
like the pumpkin pie that you brought, which was fabulous, was vegan because
Vegan.
both of us have issues with dairy. Like
Exactly.
years ago, if you had issues with dairy, too bad.
Yeah.
Too bad.
I mean, like if you brought a vegan pumpkin pie, years ago to my Nana's house.
You'd be
they'd
wearing it.
Yeah, exactly. They'd be like, what is this? Or the almond Ready Whip, non-dairy.
Well, it sounds like regular whipped cream.
It tastes like regular whipped cream.
Let's hear that.
You want to hear it?
I want to hear that
You
whipped
wanna-
cream.
wanna hear it? Wanna hear a
She's been
shot?
dying. I got to tell you, she's
Watch
been
this.
dying all morning to do. Oh my God, that was just disgusting. I don't even want to share. I can't even share. It was horrible. Thank God.
I can't talk. Oh, there I go.
Be thankful that was not Facebook Live. Okay. Let me just say.
I think I
But
shot a little
just
too
got
much
a clue
in.
into Lisa's personal life. Let me just put it like that.
Well, I didn't swallow right away.
Well,
couldn't.
I saw what you did. Never mind. A little swish around there. All right. So let me
Oh
ask
my
you. So
God.
let me ask you a few questions. Let's get to know each other a little bit more about.
As if we don't.
as
Okay,
if
let's-
well, after
okay.
that, I feel like I know you intimately.
You saw my tonsils with that.
Turkey? Yes or no?
Absolutely.
Okay. Light or dark? Meat.
Light.
Okay. So breast.
Light to white. Yeah.
So no legs or thighs.
no,
or,
I'll eat it, but I go for the breast first. Only because I have cousins.
yeah, really. Hello.
Hi.
Stuffing or dressing? What do you call it? What is your family call
Stuffing.
it? Stuffing, right?
Absolutely.
The dressing to me is what you put on your
I know.
salad. You put salad dressing.
Exactly.
Right?
Where'd
On
that
lettuce.
come up?
I don't know. I think because for some, well, I think a lot of it depends on whether you put it in the bird
Right.
and then
okay.
it becomes stuffing, right? Or if you
I
just,
happen to like it in the
if
bird.
you just use it around, then it's like dressing for the bird. Is that maybe? Does that sound right? I just made that up.
But then
it
again,
sounds
everything
good.
is dressing for the bird. That's a side dish.
I'm dressing for the bird. I'm a
Seriously.
side dish.
Okay. Well, okay, you could be on Thursday since you don't know what's
Since
happening.
I don't, listen, the reason I put that out there, though, is because any invitations are all welcome, by the way. Let's not. You know, that's the other thing, too. And I'm not bitter, I swear. But when I think of all of the probably hundreds of people over the years that have graced my table, where are those invitations? Hello?
Yeah, right. Well, you know what? Last night by the way, we did do a little practice.
We did a little
last night.
rehearse.
Yeah, we did.
Not what we were going to say,
when
just
I-
the
when
fact
I-
that we
yeah.
we actually hope.
No, this is all improv.
Anybody who knows us and knows Lisa or me and knows our phone numbers, somebody shoot us a quick text to make sure that we're out there. And
Yeah,
people
can you
actually
hear us? Yes. If anybody's listening, and you
anybody
know
in
who
the
you
world is
are,
listening,
just
please
shoot a
shoot
quick
us a
text and say you can hear us because
Yeah.
we're not sure. If
We don't
you,
know.
If
We
we're
hear
even
us,
on,
but we don't know if you
we're
can hear
either
us.
in the outer.
It
outer
says we're
world.
live. It says we're live. So we're our levels are going. I'm doing my engineering job really
You
well.
are, I'm telling
Bill,
you.
we love you, but no, I'm not so sure. No, I'm kidding. All right. So,
Well,
all
listen, I
right.
want to tell you a quick thing. When I got home last night, the lady across the street has a very bad habit. She gets out of her car and she leaves her
breathes.
car door open. She leaves her car door open. So the light's on and her battery goes dead. So I'm like, okay, should I or shouldn't I go close the door? I'm like, I better not because she might think I'm stealing something out of the car. So I ring her doorbell. She opens the door like nothing. I want to say, wow, you
Well, you
really
live in
need
a
to
pretty safe area.
You know
so
what? But I told you what was going on there yesterday.
That's true. People are
Yeah.
getting shot.
So
Dogs are getting
she
shot.
opens the door. I proceed to tell her. She's like, "Thank you so much. Where are you going for Thanksgiving?" I tell her, up north. She goes, "Well, listen, I'm having 40 or 45 people." So she goes, "Don't mind all the cars. And by the way, you're welcome to come over."
Isn't that nice?
Yes.
That's
She
a
said, "You're
very
welcome to come
neighborly
over."
thing to do
Mhm.
because you're new to that area,
Yes.
correct?
Well, that particular street.
Right.
yeah.
That's what I mean. But
Yeah.
so you don't know her up until or
No.
did you ever? No, just
I
recently.
mean, just
met
like
her.
waving, seeing
That's very
her.
nice.
Yeah. So
People
I
don't
might
do
stop
that.
in. Who knows?
Well, interestingly enough, my husband goes to a gym. He's gotten friendly with some of the guys that he, works out with and stuff. And one of the gentlemen there named Fred does some volunteer work at a local. They still call it a soup kitchen.
So I know. I don't know
if
why
that's-
they
I
call
don't
it
really
that.
like that. I guess a mission.
A
Maybe
lot of
you
my
call it
cousins
as a
go
mission.
on Thursday morning. Yeah.
And I was really surprised. I thought because I really didn't have to do anything for preparation for Thursday. I thought it might be nice this holiday, especially. I told you I'm feeling very emotional this year about giving back and all of the people who don't have anything. And I asked him if I could go with him to and they're not actually doing anything this week
You're
because
kidding.
there's so many other, I guess, events or so many other places for people to go this holiday that they don't want to compete.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think that's awesome too, though. To be honest
Yeah.
with you,
Well, if there's so many,
that
that's
there's
good.
so many. So
My cousin goes to a big one up in Morristown. He goes religiously
Armory?
every year.
at the Armory.
I don't know, but he serves for like 4 hours and then
I
he
just
goes
think
home.
it's I don't think it should be something that the kids do. And I know a lot of them do because they have to have it on like their college
for
their
the
college
resume,
resume or whatever. I don't think that's the reason you should do it. You should do it because you genuinely want to make sure that people have a sense of worth
Mhm.
and that
Agreed.
and that you care and a hot meal. Also, it's also supposed to be on the East Coast, very very cold.
It's going to be
on Thanksgiving.
freezing
Yeah.
on Thanksgiving.
So it's going to be so if you
Wind
see
chill
somebody,
factor is going to be like,
I don't know.
15.
I just think there's things we can do. All right, so let's go back to
yeah,
our
let's
little
get back
quiz.
to the
All right, so
we
cranberry, which is one of my faves.
hate it.
Do you
Don't
like?
do it.
you
Don't do
don't do
any
it
of
at all?
it. Don't do any of it.
So then the next part of the
And
question,
even people
jelly
who
or
make those
berry.
cranberry molds, just the name of it, I don't like.
I always think of the
with the
Office,
nuts
that
in it
show,
and
The
everything.
Office,
Oh.
where they put everything in Jello. Did you ever see that episode?
No, I never watched that.
Oh my
show,
gosh,
actually.
it was hysterical. Okay, so for me, for cranberry, I prefer the jellied cranberry. I can't
Okay.
stand the whole berry. I don't know. I just like
no,
it.
I don't like.
And
it
I
at
like
all.
taking it out.
But I like
it,
cranberries.
And I like it in the can. There's
The
some
can
things,
is like everybody.
it's
Everybody
fun,
loves
right?
it in the can,
Like
and it
we-
wiggles.
Where
you
you
know?
open like the opposite end and it goes
Right.
and makes this big squirt, right? And then you have to slice it. There's just something about it, right? Tim? Yep.
Yeah,
he
there
likes
you
it
go.
too.
He likes it too.
Okay. Sweet potato or mashed potatoes?
On Thanksgiving, I like sweet potatoes.
Okay.
Well, yams I like.
Okay, so you whole or in a casserole?
I like them all mashed up.
Okay. With or without marshmallows?
Are you kidding me? Marshmallows, of course. I love it with marshmallows. My
Who
nana,
in the this is like one of those things like if you read something, I had to take out a stain, like or like here's one.
you had to take out
Did
a
you know
stain.
that if you
you have a
know
blue
that-
dress?
Did you know? Oh my gosh, that's not.
I know.
You know, we're not going to go there. This
We're
week.
not.
We're going to
Okay.
stay in the
Yes,
spirit
we're gonna
of
stay nice.
Thanksgiving. But there's a whole documentary series.
We'll have more to talk about next week.
I actually saw something I did not know. I did not know a lot of the facts
I know.
about this. Like her mother was involved, and they were threatening prosecution of her
Yep.
mother. Like, oh my goodness, this was a big deal. I wonder if this is going to have any repercussions. But I also wonder, is it really necessary to drag us back through all of this? I mean, I guess as a person who's been falsely seen over the
Right.
years or judged incorrectly. Vindication, or you just want
Maybe
the whole
that's it.
story. But I just feel like after a while, shouldn't you just let it go?
I guess, but she's 45, and I think she just wants to get this all out and the real story out because she's been slandered so much, and
Yeah.
she's been the blame for this for so long that I think maybe with the
And
all
Me
the
Too.
movements going on.
I think
yeah,
the Me Too movement.
I think she
because
just wants to
people-
get her story
People
out.
went to her
Right.
when Me Too came out,
Mhm.
and suddenly this affair, which it was put now in a very different light.
Exactly.
That it was a real power issue as much as it was anything else, and an imbalance of power and the abuse
Absolutely.
of power. So, okay, back to our
Back to the
Thanksgiving.
turkey. Okay.
All right, mac and cheese. Is that something
Never
that you
ever,
guys
never ever
do?
never had any traditional American dishes on Thanksgiving. And getting back to the yams for 1 second. I'm just laughing at something that's happening in the house. It's not a big
So
deal.
my cat who never ever
Timothy.
ever goes on my kitchen counter.
Well, look at all the
is
goodies we
checking
have.
out the vegan pumpkin pie, and he has turned his nose up at it.
Yeah,
and
he
I'm
doesn't like
going
it.
to-
Apparently, he likes
So
regular
there is a
pumpkin pie.
cat. He's about 9 years old. He's a beautiful cat.
Yes,
He's
he
going
is
to
a
be up
beautiful
for
cat.
adoption soon. He's going to be needing some rehoming.
Don't look at me. I look at cats. I break out in hives.
Well, so
Getting
homemade
back to the yams for
yeah.
1 second.
Yeah,
is-
with the, that's
with
what
the
I was gonna say.
marshmallow, yeah.
So who, like I always
It's
think to myself in a
delicious.
recipe, like at what point in time, and what person said one day, "Oh, let's throw marshmallows into sweet potatoes or yams or whatever." Who did that and why?
well, whoever thought about throwing a piece of brajol into the gravy?
Oh, so good. I love brajol. Is he still on the counter?
No, he's in the bags now. He's in the bag.
Oh, cat in the bag.
Cat in
Cat in the bag. Well, it's not the same thing. And
Well,
here's the other
let me
thing.
tell you what my-
Canned yams. Now, this is
All
the
right, well,
casserole.
that's kind of like,
But
I
this
mean,
is the
with
casserole
marshmallows.
that my family made many years ago, right? It was the canned yams, the candied sweet.
Yes.
Remember? You had all the gooey
Mhm.
syrup. That was the casserole yams. And then
But
people
that's
started
sweet.
to go into like I don't know.
Now, what my nana did, what I fell in love with, is she used to take the yams and she used to make them into like meatballs
Yam balls.
and then stuff them with marshmallows, so that when you cut it open, it would just like ooze out marshmallow all over
Now
the
that's
yams.
interesting.
It was delicious.
That almost sounds like you could make it, believe it or not, almost like a dessert, because all you have to really
Yeah.
do is put a little like,
Brown sugar on it or
them, and
something,
really
yeah.
that sounds that actually
But
sounds.
those were delicious.
I
yeah.
could handle that.
Yeah,
a
they were
yam
really
ball.
good. A yam ball, a yam marshmallow ball.
I like that. So, homemade versus store bought.
What?
Well, things.
Everything?
Well, things. So over the years,
Okay.
I don't know what it is with me and turkey. I think I inherited this from my mother, who is basically a good cook. except when it came to turkey. And I think she was so worried about anybody getting salmonella that it was sort of like the turkey in the
Burnt
movie
turkey.
that you touched it and the thing exploded. I just can't do this. I said this. I think if we listened to last year's Thanksgiving episode, I said the same thing. So over the years, I've purchased the entire meal from places like Wegmans or Whole Foods, and I have to tell you, they do a fabulous
No, they
job.
do. They do a very good job. But there's nothing like the smell of a turkey
Well,
cooking.
you can still cook it. It's not cooked.
Yeah.
You still have to cook it. It's
Or
just that
getting
it's
up at like 5 in the
seasoned.
morning
Oh,
and
yeah,
putting it
'cause
in the
what
oven.
could be better than getting up at 5 in the morning and
But it's Thanksgiving.
well, Lisa.
And then you put the parade on.
Let me-
You have a couple
wait, Let me
eggnogs.
just get this right. So you personally are going to get up at 5 in the morning.
No.
And you personally are going to
No,
get
but
that
I
burger.
have.
Okay.
I wanted to tell you something. And I know somebody out there is listening who's probably laughing. But I make the most golden brown, beautiful turkey that you've ever seen in your life.
Really?
It looks like somebody painted it.
Like
yes.
a butter bowl? Like, that picture perfect butter bowl?
Absolutely, yes. Better.
Fabulous. So,
Maybe one of these centuries I'll make one.
well, nowadays, though, it's pretty easy. Like,
I
they
mean,
have the
yeah, I mean,
pop-up
but people
timers.
say they burnt the. I'm like, what are you doing? You
I don't know. I think
It's just one of the easiest things to make.
it is one of the easiest
It's
things to
all
make.
in the basting. People don't realize you have to baste the bird.
Well,
every
I
25
posted
minutes.
on our Facebook page some tips from Martha Stewart because people can get very, very sick. Apparently, it's not as easy as everybody thinks. Just seriously, because people have bad habits when it
Right.
comes to fowl. Now, I know you've gone in different
Mhm.
plans in your life with vegan, not vegan, meat, not meat,
Paleo.
and we've all kind of adjusted, I think, our eating at some point in time. I've always eaten meat and fowl and fish, but I can't stand touching
Yeah, you have to be
raw
careful too.
turkey. First of all, a 20, 22, 24-pound turkey is like a small child,
Oh, it is.
and it upsets me. I can't. I feel like and to like wash them and clean them and take the stuff out of them. It grosses me out.
Well, listen, that bag of
I
gizzards
can't-
and stuff is
Ugh.
really disgusting.
But I told you I left it in there.
I
one
know,
time.
I
That was
can't
just-
believe you
was
did
just
that.
but I just stuffed stuff in front of it. But even that, like, I love stuffing from a turkey. But then the more I think about
But
it,
you know, you told me that, and I can't
Just
understand
so
how you
gross.
didn't wash. You have to wash a turkey really good, and the cavities are really important to wash
well,
out.
if my friend Debbie is listening, she and I decided to make Thanksgiving turkey for our boyfriends at the time, and
Oh,
we did.
God,
this
are they
together.
alive?
So I can't say. Yeah, actually, no. One of them has.
Oh,
but
sorry.
not from that.
not from that.
Not from
okay.
that. But I don't remember who was in charge of that part of it. All I remember
Oh,
is
okay.
that when we took the turkey out of the oven and went to carve it and take the stuffing out, the bag had gotten
Oh,
pushed
my
all the
God.
way to the back.
I wouldn't have been
So
able to
I
eat
really
after
can't
seeing
even
that.
begin to tell you what
Yeah,
happened.
people eat that stuff.
You cook
They
it.
save it. Yeah.
Well,
they
I've
eat it.
taken out over the years, like for the animals, I've taken out some of it and cooked the livers and stuff for the dogs.
Like I don't like, what do they call it? Giblets. They went in the gravy.
Giblets.
Giblets. I don't like that in the gravy.
Yeah, I
No.
just you know what I do like turkey, but I like it on a sub.
Really. So you like the processed meat?
Well, not all. I mean, Wegmans makes a roasted turkey,
Oh, do they?
and then they just basically slice it as deli meat.
So you don't like it with gravy on it, and then you took a little
I like it
stuffing
the
and put
next
the stuffing
day
on
as
it.
a sandwich. I'm really a leftover
Do you like
person.
a gobbler?
Yeah,
Have you
what?
ever had a gobbler?
That's the turkey with the
everything
Yeah.
on
yes,
it.
yes.
Yeah,
but I
that's great.
actually prefer that over sitting down and having it from the oven. So
Really?
I may actually make a bird just to have the leftovers. But I also have bought just turkey breast.
You can just get a
You don't
nice
have
big
to get
breast
the, you
and
don't have
just
to get the whole turkey. But there's all this so there's all these tips and some of them are basic, like keep washing your hands. You know,
don't
you
use the
shouldn't-
same knife.
Yeah,
and
you
fork and-
shouldn't.
yeah.
You know, you shouldn't really put like the bird and the juices to get in any kind of wood or any kind of
No, 'cause it will
porous
stay there,
material.
yeah.
So she suggests covering everything with parchment paper, which is a really good idea, and it's garbage. Temperature is a really big thing.
Mhm.
Do you ever try to take a turkey's temperature?
No. I didn't have to. I just put
They
mine
run
in.
like hell.
I just put mine in, and yeah, they don't want a thermometer stuck in them. No. Yeah.
But I just so that's all part of it. But I think that any time that you put a meal together for people or you contribute to a meal, to me, it doesn't matter whether it comes from a can or the store or it's frozen. I think it's really about the experience of the meal.
Oh, absolutely. Now, do you do you always hear about this green bean casserole.
Oh, yes.
Really? That wasn't a big, I mean,
My
we did it, but
kids
it wasn't a big thing.
I used to make like 2 and 3 of them because people would absolutely. Now, this is the first year without my father-in-law. He had passed
Oh, right.
away this year,
Yes.
as you know. And
God bless
even though
John.
the last couple years, he didn't really like to leave home. He wanted to be in he lived in a senior place.
Yeah, don't we all?
Well, he lived in a senior development, and they had a community room, and they would all cook, and everybody they it just gets to be a lot for people. I think they just like to be in their environment. It gets a little crazy with kids and people, and in and out. And the thing that bothers me, we kind of were joking around about this. Everything we do is an excuse to party.
That's right.
And there's a difference between party and celebrating.
Biggest party night of the year tomorrow night.
I know. And I still just have this thing this year, more so than ever before, that I just want people to really understand what this is supposed to be about. That's all. I'm not saying you shouldn't go party. I just think that, I'm also not, I don't have a problem with making reservations for the holiday either.
Yeah, this is very true.
You said your family used to do that
well,
when you were like
back
really
in the day,
big,
because
big.
the array side of the family is huge. It used to be like 60 something of us. So we would go to the Friar Tuck or Tom's down in Newark and be in a family room. But they would serve you family style, so it was just like kind of like
Yeah,
being
it's
at
kind of
home.
like you're being at home.
And we had a private room.
The thing is the leftovers, right? Unless you get to take stuff home. I think
They would always package stuff up for us.
I think that's the part that people, like you said, it's the smell of the day.
Right.
Like I'm going to have to put something in the oven while I'm watching the parade because I just have to have the smell.
Exactly.
But that's a fun thing.
Yeah,
to
and
do.
sometimes my nana or my grandmother, like if we went out on the array side, she would cook a smaller turkey so that when we got back, we'd have it.
Yeah, you have something
you
later
had- you
on.
know,
I mean, I think it's a lot. Like I haven't
'Cause
decided
that's
yet.
the best part, the next day and later that night when you get hungry again,
But see, then I feel bad for the people who have to work the holiday. So it's
It's
kind of
horrible.
the same part that I'm going to segue right into our conversation about Black Friday, but it's the same thing. So like I would say to you, well, restaurants wouldn't be open if people didn't go.
Right.
So then people who don't get to spend the holidays with their family wouldn't have to work. But then the other side of it is it's a big day for restaurants, and a lot of them open on purpose because
But
they
shouldn't.
want the business.
But they have business 360 some odd days a year. Okay, so Christmas and Thanksgiving.
But you just
they
said
can't close.
yourself at one point in time your family went out. So like that's the part that I have. So
we
let's
did. And that
so
was
now
a long
let's
time ago.
segue into. So I don't know what we're going to be doing actually on Thanksgiving. I don't know if I'm ultimately going to wind up cooking, or if I'm going to make a reservation somewhere. I don't know
Well,
yet. But I better
You're
hurry
very
up
good at
because
making
it's not gonna-
reservations. So
because we're
something
gonna
tells
have
me you're going to make reservations.
have a
You know, I
problem.
know a lot of people that have gone out for Chinese food on Thanksgiving. Believe it or
know.
not. Yeah, I mean,
I love Chinese
times are
food.
not the same. Let's face it. They're just
The
not.
times they are a changing.
They are a changing. But I do like corn on Thanksgiving. I don't really like corn anymore, but I
Cream
like,
corn?
No, not cream corn.
Corn
just
on the cob?
No, just corn in the dish.
Just fresh corn.
Some butter on it.
Okay.
I don't do butter anymore.
See,
but
cream corn for some reason is one of those things
that
that we
grosses
do.
me out.
Why?
It looks like somebody regurgitated.
It looks like pre-used.
Yeah.
Looks like pre-owned corn.
Whose corn is that?
Whose corn? Who had this corn before I had this corn? Speak up. Someone speak
Whoever
up.
holds your peace.
Yeah, speak up. Why don't you? All right. So let's talk a little bit about Black Friday. I this week I was trying to post some things that I thought might be helpful to people for the holiday, and I really did give kudos to the stores that are closed on Thanksgiving Day, and the list is on our thing. But Black Friday is one of those situations that has been around for a long time, and what seems to be relatively new is this idea that people are going to go out and shop on Thanksgiving itself.
It's
like,
crazy.
When did
They
that,
have dinner
when
and
did
they
that
leave.
happen?
In the past few years, it's really gotten worse.
I don't
I
understand.
mean, they didn't used to start opening the doors till like midnight. Now it's like 4 o'clock.
I know. I don't.
And
like
I don't know
that.
about you, but my family eats like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's like,
Well, the thing is this, okay? Let's talk about, for the same thing we just said about the restaurants. You have people who are leaving their holiday with their family
Right.
to go and be at a store. If people weren't waiting outside the store to go shopping,
the store wouldn't be open.
your store wouldn't be open.
Right.
You wouldn't have to worry
So
about
it's really
it.
our fault.
Okay, so we kind of perpetuate that.
Right.
The idea that people now have started new traditions where they eat earlier in the day, and then as a family,
They go shopping.
they go shopping together.
crazy.
So it's become like its own new
Yeah.
tradition. So if it's fun for them,
I guess if
and
they
it's
wanna do
something
it,
that they enjoy doing,
But if it breaks
is
up a
such
family,
bad
I don't
thing?
think it's good.
Well, but everyone has the choice.
Yeah.
And the thing is, with online shopping, I really don't know if the deals are as
They're not.
great
They say
as
Cyber
as
Monday
great
is
as they
better
need
than
to be.
anything.
So is it really worth getting out there? Like, have you ever shopped?
I got to
like
tell you something. First of all, I would never go shopping on Thanksgiving. To me, the day after Thanksgiving is a total chill out and eat my brains out all over again. First of all, I would never, ever go out on Black Friday. First of all, I'd end up getting arrested because the one person bumped me one more time or took something out of my hand. There'd be a lot of trouble. And I don't think the deals are that great to put up with that aggravation. Or these people that wait out in line for hours to get into a store.
Well, remember,
Would
like
you
they
ever?
would like bust through windows to
Yeah.
get a television set.
People were trampled and
but see, but
killed.
now, but like you said, those deals because of online, because of Cyber Monday, and even Black Friday online, it's absolutely not necessary.
No, you
I
don't
mean,
have to
we
leave.
have just like every other area in the country. There's outlet malls now, the
Sure.
outlet shops, and a lot of them are the same kind, Tanger and Premium, and all these
All
different outlets that we have, and they're pretty much all the same stores. And the parking lots are insane. You literally take your life in your hands.
Oh, yeah.
So not only are you on the road to get to your destination,
Which is
and
dangerous.
by the way,
People are drinking.
this is like the biggest holiday travel time, not only of just the year, but this year.
This year in particular.
for like crazy millions of people already on the road. So
They said Tuesday night, tonight, between 6 and 8,
is the worst.
is going to be the worst ever tonight.
And the best time is to actually travel on the holiday itself. If you're flying, I believe, right?
Oh, yeah. But who wants to do that?
Well, it depends. And if you have a time zone issue, it
Yeah.
you know, if you like on a Wednesday night to California, you take the red eye and then you get your 3
Yeah.
hours back. Just so who cares if you sleep through dinner?
This
Turkey
is
makes
true.
you tired anyway.
This is very true. I don't know. I never did the whole Black Friday thing. I never will. I mean, if I didn't do it by now in my life, I never will.
Well, just to give
And
a quick,
I don't really think the deals are that great. I mean, first of all, they're talking about TVs. I mean, TVs, they can't give TVs away now.
well, you have the big. See, the thing is you have the big box stores, but like, let's see. So it's just some of the bigger names that people might know. Well, Costco, there's a big box store. They're absolutely closed on.
They are.
They're closed
Good
on
for them.
Thanksgiving. Absolutely.
Good for them.
You have Crate and Barrel. That's another big store. Barnes and Noble, BJ's. That's another big box. Ace Hardware, Home Depot, Home Goods, Hobby Lobby. My favorite.
Well, yeah.
My favorite
We
new
figured that
commercial. TJ Maxx, Sam's Clubs.
So that means Marshall's is going to be closed?
Raymore and Flanagan. Actually, Marshall's is closed.
Yeah, that's just part of
TJ
TJ
Maxx,
Maxx.
the whole thing.
Home,
That whole thing.
Home Goods.
Trader Joe's
Oh, wow. Really?
is closed,
Good
which
for
is
them.
awesome. I know Wegmans closes early. I think they're open just in the morning.
I know
just-
ShopRite's closed.
I just think it's at Pier 1. PC Richard and Son. That's a very family type store. Mattress Firm. I thought they were going out of business actually. Home. Let's see. American Girl. Well, there you go. You can't get your doll.
Oh,
You're gonna
darn.
have to hold off on your doll. The Mall of America is closed. I mean, AC Moore, the craft store. I mean,
Good for them.
there's a lot of stores that are closed, and a lot of them. And if you read the article, if anybody's interested, and they go and they look at the article, there's statements made by some of the CEOs talking about why they chose to close.
Right. Well, Hobby Lobby, we know they're a very religious organization, so they kind of close up for that reason.
Oh, I think you know,
Kind of like Chick-fil-A does
you
open
and
on Sunday.
I grew up in the age of the blue law.
Right.
So there was a time when certain things were roped.
Nothing
Remember
was
going
open.
and things were roped off?
Yes. You couldn't.
Remember Two Guys and
Two
Corvettes
Guys.
and those stores? A true department store where you could each literally buy clothes and then you had your appliances in it. Was the appliance section that was roped off
Yes.
for the longest time. You could buy certain things but not other things until they repealed it all. That was stupid. I never understood that either. Why you would do some but
I know.
not all.
That didn't make it. It was
Like
just
if you're
closed,
open, you're
period.
open.
But then
Like
there was
the
a point
store's
where they
open.
were closed completely on Sunday. You
Yeah.
couldn't go anywhere on Sunday.
And Chick-fil-A still is like that, right?
Yeah, they don't open on Sundays at all. No.
Well, you know, again, well, they're
And then you
food.
have like Walgreens, CVS, 7-Eleven, 365 days a year. They don't care what. Wawa. I mean, all those
I know.
places, they're open forever.
I know,
I
and they
mean,
have to be staffed. So,
Yeah.
well, again, I guess there's two sides to everything, and you know, the other side of things is there are people who don't have family, who
Yeah.
don't have a place to go, who are happy to make the money, who could use the
True.
money for the holidays, so they're happy to work, or not. And again, not to take away from the day because I do think it should be recognized, but there are people who don't really see it as honestly that big of a deal. That you know, they're thankful for their life every day,
Right.
and they have a meal every day, and they don't need to be decadent and eat all this food, and they don't have, say, somebody come, so they're happy to go to work. It's not a problem for them.
But
So
don't you think it's the newer generation though that's changed a lot of the stuff?
I do. I think people don't have the same. I don't want to say values so much as I just don't think they put the same importance on things as they used to.
To them, like I talk to a lot of young people, and they're Thanksgiving. Like, what are you doing for Thanksgiving? They look at me like I'm crazy.
When my mother was around, we were younger. There wasn't even a question of what we were doing. Like
you knew.
You just knew. It wasn't like
nobody asked
the plan. There was no
plan.
Right. It was the same thing every year.
You knew exactly what you were doing for Thanksgiving. Exactly.
But we never had any big traditions, and I feel kind of bad about that actually. Like, people do certain things on certain days, and this is what we do. And that's why I said to you about the shopping. I think for a lot of people, the shopping on Thursday has become a new tradition.
Have you ever gone out on Black Friday?
Never.
Yeah, because I'm wondering. I talk to people and I ask them about the deals, and they don't say, even the outlets you were just talking about. When I go to these outlets, I don't think there's such a tremendous price difference.
Well, a lot of the outlets it depends on what you're looking at. Like I happen to like Ann Taylor and Loft.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got Ann Taylor, you've got Loft, and then you've got the outlets. And I'm not sure if I don't know if they're last year's clothes, because I don't remember seeing them in the one store last year. I'm not sure if they're just totally different styles that are made for the outlets, but they're not such great deals. I think people think they're great deals.
Right, but I had to run into Michael Kors over at the Jersey Shore outlets not so long ago, and all the prices in there were the same prices in everywhere else. So I don't know what this outlet thing means.
Well, the interesting thing that I've noticed is that you'll go into, like, I'm a Kate Spade girl, and there's a Kate Spade outlet by us. And so I'll go into Kate, and I'll do my thing. And one of the things that I noticed is that it'll be the full price, and then it's 50% off, and then it's 10% off of that, and then it's 5% off of that. And when all is said and done, it seems like it's a really good deal.
The only true,
I don't care if it's
true
last
department
year.
store that I think really does a really true sale. Well, actually, there's maybe two. Is Macy's. When Macy's has a sale, they truly have a sale.
Yeah.
It's none of that
True.
make believe and marked up and marked down. And Lord and Taylor, when they have their friends and family sale, they have a sale, especially in the shoe department.
Ooh.
Those are the only two stores that I really believe when they say they're having a
just
sale.
started flowing. My turkey juices when you said shoes. Oh.
She's going out on Black
I'm
Friday.
leaving. No, I'm not going to do that.
And like I said, with everything online now, people are just, Cyber Monday is huge. It's like you can get anything you want, including your Christmas tree.
And yes, I agree with that. Well, you have to remember something too. All these Courier and Ive moments that we have.
Yeah,
when you have little kids,
yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. Things aren't as much fun as you think they are.
No, definitely
I'm sorry.
not. Definitely
I don't agree with all
Well, that's
of
one
it.
thing I'm not into anything anymore is all that, bric-a-brac and nonsense with, the Annalie dolls and this and that anymore. I mean, to me, that's just like a waste.
And again,
And then they get stored away for a whole year.
yeah,
It's just
and you bring it all back. Well, this year, in preparation for a move, probably next year.
Exactly.
Once I bring all of my Christmas boxes down from the attic area, they are not going back up.
Yeah.
So we are going to be doing a Christmas sale, fire sale after Christmas or before even. I don't care at this point. Just because we've just collected so many things over the years.
Yeah.
And it's not that I don't have any sentimental value. These aren't like kitty things like they're from my kids or the ones with their names or anything like that. These are just ornaments or little decorations that are very kid-centered, young children-centered that we just don't have anymore. And I have a more sophisticated
and it's not even like the younger
style.
generation today. You can say, here, do you want these? If you have kids, they look at you like, no, I don't want that
Nobody
clutter
has
junk
any
in my
room.
house.
You know what? Nobody has any room
They
to
don't want
store
it.
it. If you don't have a house where you have storage, you are now paying, as you well know, right, to have storage units for things that you don't even know you have in there.
I mean, I had, when I was younger, things were passed down.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, you want to pass down something, people are like, I don't want that. I don't want that crap. I don't want this. And I'm like, even my mother still asks me, you want this? I'm like, no, I am trying to get rid of stuff. I don't want anything else. Please keep it.
It's true. And even for gift giving, I think again, because of places like Amazon and because things are so easily available to us, it's very hard to get somebody something, surprise them or get them something special. They click and they get it themselves, So I think this year for me, it's going to be really just focusing on people who I know don't have a lot and trying to help make their holiday, something. We don't need any more of what we can get.
You know, every Thanksgiving I say I'm going to try to find a family that doesn't have, and do it. And every year I don't do it. And I just want to smack myself.
Well, I got something in the mail the other day, and I actually think it might be the same place that I was talking about before,
really?
where, I think they said for like $2.82, you can basically put a meal together for somebody, so you donate $25. Like, you don't have to donate a lot of money, but I really didn't want to do
I don't
that.
like
I
it, but
really
I don't
wanted
like that.
to go and
I'm
do
a hands-on
myself.
person.
Yeah,
I want to
know
see
I did.
it.
I wanted to really do something this year that was different, and I know there's so many places right now that we can go in our local area, but I can't help but keep thinking about California. They were doing more stuff on the news again every single day.
Horrible.
Firefighter. They interviewed a firefighter today. It just broke my heart. He's been fighting fires for years, and now he's on the other side. Mm-hmm. He said, he's been watching people lose their homes for years, and now he lost his, and he's still out there fighting fires. He still has to deal with his stuff, but he still has to do his job. It's just, I don't know. I do not know, but I have to say one thing. This week we had something, or in the past week, we had our little 6-inch snowstorm. Paralyzed. That was the most ridiculous thing I have ever seen in my entire life.
People were in didn't get home
6
for
hours,
9
7 hours. Kids were stuck at school overnight.
In West Orange, they slept in the middle school.
Are you kidding me?
They made pizzas. They watched movies. They actually had fun.
I mean, that sounds like fun. And you know what? I would be.
But if my kid was there, I tell you, I would walk to get my kid out of that school.
Well, I would be very thankful as a parent that people were willing to take care of my kids.
Yeah, but in this day and age, with all those kids and a small amount of teachers, I'd be like,
true.
No.
But the other side of that is
cross-country skiing up Mount Pleasant Avenue.
Well, here's the part that I have to say from all of this. So the next day, when the dust settled a little bit, you had our esteemed governor.
Oh, please.
And you had the mayor of New York City. Everybody was having press conferences, okay? Yeah. I just want to know, and this isn't really taking sides with any politician in particular, because it seems that every news conference, how many times does a person have to answer the same question?
Oh, I know. Isn't that the most annoying thing?
I mean, seriously.
Over and
over
I
know
again.
That President Trump gets very testy, and sometimes he takes it too far. And I know that, if a question's not answered, the media, attacks the person right
they're
away.
Avoiding the question.
But how many times can you say the same thing? And they
explained it.
So the mayor went through the whole story. He said the entire thing. The truth is that based on what he just said, his speech.
Well, he was blaming the meteorologist.
Regardless of how, but I'm saying, like, he said everything. He said every fact, right? So then you still have the same. So then you have the reporters asking. So now he's repeating the facts
again.
Okay, and then you have somebody else asking about something he said 2 minutes ago. Mm-hmm. I would lose my cool instantly. I would never give them that time of day.
There's no way I could be a politician standing up there doing that.
I would never.
Because I'd be worse than Trump. I'd be like, you know what? Shut up.
Well, how many times are
anyway.
you going to ask me?
Yeah. It's very annoying.
And how many versions of the story do you want?
Do we really need a breaking news press conference about all this? I mean, do we really? I mean, both of them screwed up, okay? Listen, I was in Florida for many years, okay? When they said a hurricane was coming, we always prepared for the worst. Okay, the snowstorm was early. This was the last time we had this much snow.
It's like 100 years or something,
No,
right?
it was a week after Sandy in 2012.
Oh, this early?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's what broke my tree. Mm-hmm. You're right.
And but the news reports that I was listening to was always 3 to 6 inch, nothing down here. I never heard anything about a trace of snow. So I don't know where de Blasio and Murphy got that from. But from things that have happened in this state, period, you always prepare for the worst. Just like when you're cooking Thanksgiving Day dinner, have more than you're
have
supposed
a backup because you're going to fuck up that turkey.
So the roads weren't salted. And they were like, we couldn't salt them because there was too many cars stuck on the road. Well, that's not when you're supposed to be salting the roads anyway.
Okay, but let me just say this to you. Let me say this to you. If you are listening to the weather the same way, the politicians and the people who make the decisions to salt or not to salt, and you're hearing 1 to 3 inches, and you know that there's certain things you can or cannot do you really need the mayor of New York or the governor of New Jersey to suggest to you as a grown-ass adult with a car, maybe you should leave your car home today? Don't you have enough brains in your head to say, you know what, it might snow tonight. maybe I shouldn't drive in. Like, they were basically saying that the mayor has to tell people not to bring their cars in.
Well, it wasn't only New York.
And he
No.
said, he goes, are they going to listen to me at 1 to 3 inches?
No, they're not going to listen. They're going to do what they want to do.
So don't put that on the mayor. Don't put that on the governor. If you hear snow, whether it's an inch, a foot, and you don't want to take your car. Now, a state of emergency is different. That's when you have like, to. By law, you're not even supposed to really be on the road. I don't need somebody to tell me to drive or not to drive. Like, don't put that on him.
It's not that you need somebody, but I mean, this wasn't just New York. You're talking about 280, 78, 24. Cars were abandoned. The George Washington Bridge cars were abandoned. South Livingston Avenue in Livingston.
I know, I saw that.
Was bumper to bumper from one end of town to the other. It was. I've never seen anything like that in my life.
I know.
No, I was watching video of friends that were like literally on Facebook Live for hours. I'm still here. I'm still here. And this was like going on from 4 o'clock to like 9, 10 o'clock at night.
Well, I feel the most sorry for the people. I mean, they closed. Was it Grand Central Station or
Port Authority?
Port Authority.
Yeah.
I mean, so
I
okay.
would have just left and got a hotel.
So you're saying that the mayor did the wrong thing by not telling people to leave their cars home, but the people who didn't have their cars couldn't get home because they couldn't get to the trains or the planes or the automobile.
Everything
really
they messed up on everything.
The whole thing.
They should have just owned it up and said we messed up.
For me, honestly, regardless, because fortunately I wasn't traveling and neither were you. Right. I was in the rain line. We had no snow at all. But for me, the whole point of it was the idiocy of the reporters, because you broke into my television program.
I know, right?
And I'm listening to 25 people ask the same question. And the press conference would have been over in 10 minutes if everybody would have just shut their mouths.
Yeah, just let him talk. Say what he messed up on. Say what he's going to do better next time.
Ask a few questions, but like again, like it gets. But that other guy, what's his face, got his press pass back.
And
got
Acosta,
the press pass back. Yeah, well.
But is he going to get called on?
Probably not.
Yeah, I don't think so. He's a jerk. I mean, forget about Trump. Forget whoever the president is.
It doesn't matter.
He's a jerk.
He's a jerk. There are just people like, we have a situation, and I'm not going to get into it, especially on our Thanksgiving episode.
Yes.
But, there's some truth to what is being said in terms of, and people take things out of context all the time. We've been accused of that many times.
Have we really?
When you say the enemy of the people and all of these things, I don't really think that it's referring to the actual reporters and the people who really just do the reporting instead of making the news. I mean, there's a big difference between making the news and reporting on things. I mean, what did you ask me the other day? Didn't you say something about the woman who made the decision to get rid of Roseanne?
Yeah, I was wondering if that was fact or fiction, because I don't believe anything anymore until I do my research.
Well, there you go.
Because, it said that the woman from the president of ABC resigned because of diving ratings of the Connors, and that she feels that she's responsible for canceling Roseanne, so she's resigned. But now I saw that on the web. Is it true or not true? I haven't even really checked it out yet. But it was an article form. It wasn't like it was, somebody wrote it on Facebook.
Right, like a blurb.
So that's what's making me think it's true.
But see, good for you. Right. That you're intelligent enough.
Well, you have to nowadays.
Well, now you can, but see, the thing is that there are too many people who don't take the time to verify, including reporters, and then they just perpetuate a story. And then I saw something about Stormy Daniels saying something about how this has all ruined her life, and the press and Trump have ruined her life.
She ruined her own life.
I'm sorry, didn't you put yourself out there?
Yeah, really.
Aren't you the one that kind of brought the attention?
The raunchiest clubs in New Jersey with nobody even there. I did something stupid. I put a picture up on Facebook the other day, which I thought was a really cool picture because I love Jim Morrison, and it was with Bruce Lee. And
I saw that. Is that real?
Well, wait, yeah. Well, so I thought.
Uh-oh.
And Jimi Hendrix. And it said, the original selfie, because it looked like he was holding the Instamatic camera, Jimi Hendrix. And then somebody who's a Jim Morrison maniac in my life proceeds to call me immediately and say, that's not real, because that is a picture from Jim Morrison. And she proceeds to tell me exactly the magazine and when it was and whatever. So I took it down. I took it down. I'm like, oh, my God, I don't know.
Turkey.
Yeah, I was a turkey the other night, for sure.
Turkey. Oh, well, you know what? So here's another big argument that people have on Thanksgiving is who's going to do the cleanup. Now, when you have a big situation, right? You have a lot of people. I've noticed, and I think this goes without saying, there's always somebody that feels the need to clear the plates.
Right.
Now, I'm not a big fan of having dirty dishes in front of me,
no.
but the other side of that is I don't want anyone to feel rushed. If you're in the middle of a conversation and people are
people
talking,
I know do
you
that.
can kind of push it away. You don't have to like start, because once you start clearing, I think
makes
people
me feel
like
uncomfortable, yeah.
right, and people feel like they have to start like wrapping it up. And in my house, you know, my dishwasher, like most people, they have one dishwasher.
Right.
Some people have two, but most people have one. You can't keep up with the, you know, and a lot of stuff at Thanksgiving, especially if you bring out the china and the glass and the crystals and the silverware, you can't put in the dishwasher. So
growing
now
up
we're, like,
in
washing dishes.
growing up in an Italian family, this would happen at Thanksgiving or Christmas. The men would get up and go in and watch the football games.
Yep.
And then you'd hear, "Please help your mother, help your nana," and I'd be like, "What?
But I want to watch
What?
football.
Yeah, what's this all about?"
Hey,
you know?
your Giants won.
They won again.
It's a streak. It's
they're-
two.
You know, they're only one game behind Philadelphia.
Randy said the same thing, and they could actually win their
They could.
division. What
They could
freaking
actually-
division is this?
Do you know
could
one year
have that record?
The year that they
seriously.
were 9-6, and they started out at 0-6, went to 9-6, won the Super Bowl that year.
Unbelievable.
Anything is possible with the
Anything
Giants.
is possible, but I got to tell you,
With
I
the
just,
Giants, anything's possible.
This past Sunday, I just had no interest in any of the games. I don't know what it
didn't.
was.
All my
I
cousins
just
went
wasn't.
to see the game, and I didn't go.
No, you didn't wanna go?
I haven't been to a game in a year and a half.
Well, you should go if they're all
But
going.
why? They're
Well, to be
losing.
with your cousins and have some fun.
I'm like over it right now. I can't
But
explain
you watch it,
I feel
obviously.
like
You
I
don't
lost
watch it
that
at
love
home,
and
you don't watch it.
feeling.
You lost that
I really have. I'm like, I'm not into it anymore. I don't know what happened to me.
So on Thanksgiving though, it's usually college, right?
No,
It's
no. Dallas always plays, and
See what I
Detroit
know.
always plays.
See, I'm not watching. I'm not really paying any attention.
Oh, no,
well,
it's a big-
We
it's a
tried.
big,
we tried a couple years, like when we had a crowd here. We would play games. We would play left center, right, or right center. It's like it's a dice game, and you would you do dollar bills, and the bigger the crowd, the bigger the pot. That was always a lot of fun. I like games. I think they're fun. Do you guys
See,
do
now
games?
I hate games. I'm not a
do?
game player. No, and I mean that in
many ways,
No.
and literally and figuratively.
No, not always, but I'm not a board game player or card player, a game player like you said. No,
No.
Mm-mm.
I don't know. I think they're fun.
Even when I
think
was a
it gives
kid,
people
I
to do-
hated all that
Oh,
stuff.
see, I like that. I think it's fun for people to do. How about puzzles? Do you like to do jigsaw
Oh
puzzles?
no, that's the word. No, I
like
would,
where you make them on the table.
no,
all
because
together.
you know why? If I couldn't
No.
find a piece, but given 30 seconds, the whole thing would be on the floor.
Oh boy.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
no.
All
Put
right.
a something electronic in front of me, or a gadget or a gizmo. That'll occupy me all day. Yeah, or a new cell phone.
So then
new
basically,
computer.
what you like to do is have your holidays, hang out, and then
Friday
watch
I
football.
just love to chill the next day. I don't want to go anywhere.
Well, you
the
have
next
to
day.
travel for the holiday a little bit,
Right,
So
but the next day I don't have to do anything.
yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Well, I have no intention. The thing is like even just trying to get around my town, just to get to to do
Forget it.
the normal things that I would do on Friday because it's Black Friday.
not
Like I had
happening.
an appointment, I actually changed it because I didn't want to have to try to navigate. To
No,
get
it's
there.
gonna be crazy.
I just want, I just would like everybody. I really want to take the time because we've had a very interesting year, and
Sure
I think we
have.
have a lot to be thankful for, and
Very
some
tumultuous year.
things that we're maybe sad about. But I think now is a good time for everybody to just put it aside, have a nice day.
Everybody, be kind.
Yeah, I really want to.
But
just say-
gratitude is the most important thing. You have to be grateful.
Make the day whatever you kind of want it to be. I think it's important to acknowledge the people that aren't with us. People come in and out of your life, some by choice, some not so by choice.
That's right.
Some permanently, some show up again. But I think it's I don't know. It's just too. It's just too short of a period of time. How many Thanksgivings do you get?
You never know.
Every
Some
year,
get
right?
very
You say
few,
you never,
and some you never
it's-
know what next year is going to bring.
which is true. So
That's why everybody gets freaked out with the new year because they're like, "What's the new year going to bring?"
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I like
Happy-
to say happy birthday, Aunt Lucy. Her birthday's the day after Thanksgiving.
Oh,
so
well, happy
I think
birthday.
shout out
Happy
to her.
Thanksgiving to everybody.
Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Be kind to your family. Be kind to your friends. Most
Thanks for
importantly,
listening,
go out
Shifters.
there
and
Join us
make
again
shift
next Tuesday
happen.
at 11 a.m. as we spotlight the latest in exclusive restaurants, shopping, fashion, nightlife, entertainment, and the people who make shift happen.